Stephanie Thomasino.
Good afternoon. My name is Stephanie. I am 23 years old, and just like you, have been affected by the very things going on in our community. Have you ever imagined how beautiful our world could be if we were truly a united nation? Our voices are the most powerful thing we have in this universe. I was born and raised in Van Nuys, and at a young age, I was surrounded by violence, alcoholism, gangs, and drugs. I've gone through and felt things just like many of you here today. I've been that young Hispanic child who had an alcoholic father and saw domestic violence at just a couple years old. My family and I lived in the heart of one of the most known gangs in the San Fernando Valley. Out of all the events I've gone through in life, March 1st, 2007 feels like it happened yesterday. My brother had now been a drug user and gangster for almost 10 years. Due to the pain and troubles he had put us through, we had began to lose all hope and faith in him. Until one day, he decided to go back to church and change his life around to start new. He had just gotten out of jail and had began to work, staying on the right path. That day, I heard him whistling. I knew he was home. I was in the living room on my laptop when I heard 6 loud thumps. I didn't think anything of it. I just thought it was some kids playing when I heard my brother's voice yell out, "Mom." My heart dropped. I ran outside and saw my brother lay face down in a puddle of blood. My whole body was shivering. My brother had been shot at 6 times. 5 of the bullets had impacted his body, starting from his neck, working its way down to his stomach. The first bullet missed his head by just an inch or 2. He was dying right before my eyes, and I had never felt so useless and so hopeless. Until this day, I cannot believe my family and I went through that. Doctors and police officers didn't know how he survived, but he did. And it was that day that I knew God had mercy on my family. It was that day that I knew God had mercy on my family and protecting us from something far worse. 8 years later, he is still attending a Christian church. He's been drug and gang-related free. He has an amazing job, a beautiful family, and 3 beautiful daughters whom I adore. Him and I have always had different beliefs and always bumped heads, but I admire him for his strength every day. It's not easy to change, and that makes me love him and be grateful for having him part of my life. It is never too late to start over. I know what it's like to have fear for even walking down the block from your neighborhood, and it doesn't have to be like that. Violence gets us nowhere but tearing families up, especially ourselves. This is our chance to stand up with strength, united as one for what we believe in, and make the necessary changes we need, starting with ourselves. Don't ever feel like you're alone, because you're not. With God's help, family, and friends, nothing is impossible. The tragedy of Eduardo Robledo is one of thousands of cases that we have not even heard of. I have a daughter who's 5 years old. She is my biggest treasure, and I want to make sure that her generation, we can help decrease the violence so they can be able to live in a safe, empowered community. We are the youth, we are the voice, we are the future. Yeah. Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Stephanie. Tengo 23 años y como usted, yo también he sido afectada por las cosas que suceden en nuestra comunidad. Nunca se ha imaginado qué tan diferente sería nuestro mundo si nosotros fuéramos realmente unidos. Nuestras voces es lo más poderoso que nosotros tenemos en este universo. Yo nací y fui criada en la ciudad de Van Nuys. A una temprana edad, yo fui rodeada acerca de violencia, alcoholismo, pandilla y drogas. Yo he pasado y he sentido cosas como muchos de ustedes. Yo fui esa pequeña niña hispana que tuvo un padre alcohólico y vio violencia cuando solo tenía unos cuantos años. Mi familia y yo vivimos en el corazón de una de las pandillas más conocidas del Valle de San Fernando. De todos los eventos que yo he vivido en mi vida, marzo 1 del 2007 lo recuerdo como si hubiera pasado ayer. Mi hermano había estado en un camino malo consumiendo drogas y afiliado con una pandilla por ya casi de cerca de 10 años. Por tanto dolor y sufrimiento que dio a mi familia y yo, nosotros ya estábamos perdiendo esperanza en que él un día cambiaría. Hasta que un día él tomó la decisión de regresar a la iglesia y rehacer su vida en el camino correcto. Habiendo salido de la cárcel, mi hermano había comenzado a trabajar. Ese día yo sabía que ya había llegado de su trabajo cuando lo escuché silbando afuera de nuestro hogar. Yo estaba en la sala sentada usando mi computadora cuando escuché 6 ruidos muy fuertes. No pensé nada de ello. Pensé que solo eran niños jugando afuera cuando escuché a mi hermano gritar mamá. Mi corazón lo sentí caer al piso. Corrí hacia afuera cuando lo vi tirado boca abajo cubierto en sangre. Mi cuerpo entero estaba temblando. Le habían disparado a mi hermano 6 veces. 5 de las balas habían impactado su cuerpo, empezando desde su cuello bajando hasta su estómago. La primera bala solo por 1 pulgada o 2 no impactó la cabeza de él. Mi hermano se estaba muriendo enfrente de mis ojos y yo jamás me había sentido tan impotente y sin esperanza. Hasta este día yo aún no puedo creer que mi familia y yo hubiéramos pasado algo así. Doctores ni los policías sabían cómo él sobrevivió, pero lo hizo. Y este fue el día que yo